Q&A session, another week, and as you can tell in my voice, I am not very well.
No,
If I start coughing and spluttering, I apologize. But yeah, you can tell with my nasally tones. Um, how's your week been? Or dare we not ask?
yeah, let's long, good. It's been good. There's been some good things. There's been some good news, good things happening. But yeah, busy, very,
Busy.
very, very stressful. Ready for a break, but we've got a couple more weeks to power through before
Yeah.
then we'll get there.
Um, I think that's a good thing as well to because I know in the WhatsApp group I put something up about gratitude.
Yeah,
And I think that's something that um I don't know about you, but I've noticed a lot amongst clients and at the gym and just generally lots and lots of people are ill at the moment,
yeah,
myself being one of them. And there are a lot of illnesses going around. We've had quite a few in the house, and it's motivation can wane. I think it's the time of year, although it's tis starting to get brighter in the mornings and evenings, and the weather's not been too bad around here. Um, but I think that kind of sometimes we just have to remind ourselves that
yeah,
of the good things and every day sort of thing, rather than focus. We're great at focusing on the bad stuff or the stuff that's been hard, and we just have to remind ourselves that actually I think if you list down all the good things in a day and then all the not so great things, the good stuff will outweigh it
yeah,
90% of the time. And I think that's a good reminder.
yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right, let's get into the questions. We've got five today. So the first one, this is one that Katie has put up in the on the question sheet. And how do you, I mean, actually, what she put down was how do you stop turning into the honey monster during menstruation? But I think the key thing now is hunger and cravings during menstruation. I'm
Yeah.
going to let you handle that one as our resident expert.
Thank you. So it is one of those things that's really difficult. It's really natural to experience cravings during that time of the month, and yeah, it will happen. And I think the best thing to do is don't try and completely ignore it and stop yourself from having what it is that you want, whether that's sweet, savory, whatever it is that you tend to reach for. Like, don't try and ignore that craving, because what you'll find is the more that you're trying to ignore it, the more you'll want it. Just like that, don't press that big red button on the wall. If you're told not to, you'll want it more. So it's
Yeah.
it's a, that. It is very normal. It does happen to the majority of people, where we do get cravings. So just allow yourself to have that little bit. It's knowing when to stop is definitely the hardest thing. You do burn extra calories. You are using more energy during that time of the month, because obviously the hormonal changes when your body is shedding your linings, like your body's using more energy, your body temperature is naturally a bit higher, so naturally then you're going to be using more energy, so you won't necessarily be putting yourself in an excess just by giving yourself an extra snack. One of the best ways to manage it is to allow yourself an extra snack in the day, because that can then just really help you to balance out and not feel so hungry. And if that is like a chocolate bar, then that's absolutely fine. No one's saying there's anything wrong with that, if that is what you want. But to help manage that one, try not get yourself like a 1 kilo bar of dairy milk, because chances are you'll then want to eat the whole thing. Get yourself like individual wrap bars, allow yourself the 125-gram portion of that, and then make sure the rest are out of the way, because that way you're allowing yourself what it is that you want, what your body's telling you it needs in that moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you then won't get that feeling of guilt that you're getting afterwards, where you feel like you turn into the honey monster and that you just can't stop, because it is so much easier to press that button and just keep eating and keep going. So yeah, if you have ones that are already portioned, you don't have to do that painstaking bit of portion it out and then hiding the rest. Whereas if it's an individual one as it is, take that, put the rest away, and then just enjoy it.
Yeah. I don't think there's much else I can add to that. I mean, like you say, the key thing is that during menstruation, you are naturally your BMR, your basic basal metabolic rate is going to increase slightly. Generally, what did they reckon? Somewhere between 100 and 250 calories. Yeah. So, you know, you are going to be your hunger is going to increase because your deficit's bigger. So be aware of that and allow yourself to eat those couple of extra calories. One thing I would say is that when I get those cravings, what I tend to do, and not that I get cravings due to menstruation, but when I get chocolate cravings, what I tend to do is try and have it with something that's more filling.
Yeah.
So have a piece of chocolate, but then add it with, I don't know, some fruit, grapes or whatever, something that's more filling. Yeah, cool. Next question. So this one is from Gemma. It's about warming up before workouts. What is a good warm up before strength training? She was mentioning, but really this goes for any workout. You'll see loads and loads of videos if you go on social media of people doing like weird and wonderful stretches and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that those things aren't useful. So stretching and mobility work can be really good, and I do some stretching mobility work most days, but that is specific sort of stretches, and I don't do them before a workout. I do those as a separate sort of thing. So it could be first thing in the morning, you do some stretching, or in the evening stretching, whatever suits you. When it comes to workouts and doing warm-ups, um, the research actually shows that stretching doesn't reduce your risk of injury, but for a warm-up, doing the actual movements that you are going to be doing. So let's say, for example, you're going to be doing squats, doing body weight squats and then lighter weights. If you're doing back squats, barbell back squats, for example, doing lightweight squats, moving the body through that range of motion. You don't have to do all these weird leg swings and anything. Don't need to do anything like that. It's just doing the motion that you're actually going to use in the exercise. So for a bench press or a chest press, do that motion with lighter weights. You might do it with resistance bands, for example, but use light weights to practice that motion and go through the full range of motion. Make it slow and controlled, and get your muscles working and your joints working in the way that they're going to be during that exercise. And the same goes for a cool down, really. If you've done an exercise, if you've done a workout, in terms of stretching at the end of a workout, there's not that much evidence to suggest that it's going to prevent injury or reduce DOMs or anything like that. If it makes you feel better, if actually stretching the muscles after an exercise or after a workout makes you feel better, do it. But the research doesn't suggest that it's going to help reduce any sort of DOMS or pain. The best thing to reduce DOMS is consuming enough protein, staying hydrated, and getting carbs in with a meal after you've done your workout. That's going to do as much as doing any sort of stretching. But if, for example, you are lifting particularly heavy, you might want to do what we call a back off set, a lighter set that just sort of gets the muscles moving, maybe gets rid of some lactic acid if you've got that build up. It's the same with running. If you're going running, do a light jog. Jog on the spot, get your blood going around the body, get the joints going, maybe do some lunges, move the body in the way that it's going to while it's doing the exercise. But doing all these weird and wonderful stretches that you see people doing, they've got no benefit. So you don't necessarily, don't do them just to add 10, 15 minutes onto your workout. Start light, build the weight up, and then go into your workout. All right, next one, getting motivated for workouts. So it's not really a question, it's a comment that was left on one of the forms. Getting motivated for a workout, particularly that you're not necessarily doing. So I know this client they enjoy running, they actually quite enjoy running, which is great. But they find it difficult to get motivated for the strength workouts. How would you get motivated for a workout? This is a good one.
Mine's the opposite.
Yeah.
I set myself, coming back from injury, all I want to be able to do is to run a 5K again. So that was on my New Year's resolutions. We had a couple, all sort of fitness-based goals. And so I've started doing the Couch 5K. I physically am unable to do 3 a week because it puts me in too much pain. So Mondays is now my run day. And that is the session that I'm least motivated for every single week. Whereas my strength sessions, I'm like, yep, get me there, it'll be fine. Motivation is something that I think a lot of people rely on when we shouldn't, because it won't always be there. It will come and go. And it's at times where you're highly motivated that you tend to sign up for a program, or you start a new workout regime, you start trying to change your diet, all of these things. But what you will notice is, it happens to everyone, is that that will dip. You won't be motivated forever. It will be up here, and then it will start to feel a little bit more difficult. You'll get bored, and you will drop off. And that's then when most people tend to then go back to their old habits. And once you realize that motivation won't always be there and you can't rely on it, that's then when you just have to get that habit going. So I now know, as much as, am I motivated to run on a Monday? Absolutely not. But by remembering that my goal is that I want to be able to run a 5K again, I'm not going to be able to do that if I don't run. So once something becomes part of your routine and it's one of your habits that you've built up, then it's so much easier to do. And actually keep focusing on your why. Like, why is strength training important for this example? Especially as you get older, we've spoke about before, it's so important for your mobility, your joints, like all of those things. Doing strength workouts is so important for your overall health, that remembering why you're doing it in the first place will really help you to then get that workout in. And just taking that step back, remembering this is why I'm doing it, this is what I'm doing it for. Build that into your routine, make it part of your everyday, and it'll be easier to do. But if you're going to rely on motivation, chances are it won't get done.
Yeah, I think 100% motivation. It's not a myth, but it's something that, like you say, it's fleeting. And the dip you talked about, there's a guy called Seth Godin who's it's marketing. He does marketing and sales, but he talks about this initial excitement when you start something new, and then it's normally because we have this expectation for this progress to suddenly kind of shoot off, and the reality is often a lot less, a lot more disappointing. So, we don't see this progress, we see this kind of plateau. And he says the difference between what we expect and what we actually experience, that kind of leads to a bit of disappointment, and that is the dip. And that's where people kind of fall off after a couple of weeks. What we need to realize, and again, if you trust the process, if you trust the routine, and trust that what you're doing is right, the results will come, and then those results will give you the motivation. So we kind of think we need motivation to take action. It's the other way around. You've got to take action to get motivation, because action breeds results, breeds motivation. But yeah, routine key. Like you've done with your running, you've got a set day where you do it. I have set workouts across the week, which are kind of non-negotiable. So Monday morning, Sunday morning, those are two key ones. And then I'd also do one on a Wednesday morning. Those are my three at set times. I'm lucky in that I really enjoy weight training. So, and I know that I will feel so much better for doing it. So even outside that Monday, Wednesday, and Sunday, I also do other workouts, with the Zoom stuff. But outside of the Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, it's very easy for me to kind of, if I've got an hour, 2 hours, I'll go to the gym because it's my happy place.
Yeah.
But it's those, I think for me, the starting point when I first started, it was that routine. I did Monday, Wednesday, Friday workouts at the same time on those days every week. And yeah, some days I didn't want to do it. But what I told myself was, do 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just do 5 minutes, because even at the end of the 5 minutes, I thought, you know what? I've done 5 minutes. I've done enough. I can't do any more. I've done something.
Yeah.
Something is always going to be better than nothing. So if you've got a programmed workout, look at it. And I've said this to most of the girls when we've had our video calls: pick one or two exercises and just do those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And pick the compound lifts, pick the big movements. So if it's squats, pick squats. If you've got bench presses in there, pick bench presses. Don't just do bicep curls and lateral raises. Pick the big moves.
Yeah.
Do those. Do 3 to 4 sets of those. Give yourself a short rest time in between. Done. Because they are going to benefit you. And again, like you said, it's the reasons for doing it. Strength training, if you can do it, I think everybody should, because the benefits are huge. Maintaining muscle mass later on in life, mobility, independence, reduce risk of falls, increase bone density, improvements in cognitive function, brain health, mental health, reduce risk of type 2 diabetes, reduce risk of high cholesterol, stroke, heart disease, reduce risk of cancer. The list is endless. So if you remind yourself that we are doing this because of that,
Yeah,
and I only have to do 10 minutes a day, that's nothing. 10
yeah,
minutes a day is what? Like, it's less than 1% of your daily time.
yeah.
And just keep doing it. So once you do it and you keep doing it and keep doing it and you see the results.
And like you say, that's the thing, and that's done with the running. It's like, I know this is going to hurt. I'm probably going to want to cry and give up
Yeah,
halfway. I won't, because actually I know that long term, to be able to get myself physically able to do that again, I'll feel so much better.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, that's what keeps me going every week. It's not the motivation; it's remembering why. And it's one of those things that you action, it will bring the motivation 100%.
yeah. And I had a really nice message from a client, one of my in-person PT clients who's just gone on holiday. Um, and in the run up to the holiday, so at the start of the year, she, don't get me wrong, I mean, she was in good shape, but she lacked a little bit of body confidence. So she's like, I want that confidence. So we focused on that, and it wasn't even a scale number. It was just, let's work on confidence. Because the strength training was going to build up her body confidence. She was going to get the figure or the definition that she wanted, and that was the key thing. We were looking at building muscle and building strength, because that's the other thing that strength training does. For a lot of people, it builds your confidence, because if you can lift a big ass weight off the floor, you feel great, you know. And if you're starting to build muscle, and it's like, oh, great! I look good, I feel good. And she's out in Costa Rica at the moment. I had an awesome message from us, just a thank you, saying she's never felt
Yeah.
as confident as she has done on any holiday before. And scale weight's not changed at all, but her body shape has, and her confidence as a result of that is a good thing. Right, which is a nice segue into the next question. Exercise on holiday. Um, so I know that Harry is going away this week coming, um, and she's already spoken to me about maybe looking for gyms and stuff down there while she's um, on holiday. And the reason being that she really enjoys the workout. She is loving them, and she wants to go to the gym because she loves going to the gym. So, exercise on holiday. What's your? I have my take. I'm interested to see what your take is.
I think this is different for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm a bit of a weirdo in that I can't sit still anyway. And I think everyone's idea of a relaxing holiday will be very, very different. Um, like my idea of my big, oh, I realized middle of last year I hadn't been abroad in 5 years, and to me that was ridiculous, and I was never going to allow it to happen again. So I booked just over 2 weeks traveling Africa, which was very much an active holiday. So no, it wasn't necessarily gym workouts, but it was sandboarding, it was hiking sand dunes, it was a lot of walking, trekking, safaris, all of that kind of thing. So no, it wasn't necessarily heavy weightlifting all the time. It was still movement whilst on holiday. And wherever I am, if it's not that, all my holidays before have been just a scuba diving holiday, which does involve lifting heavy things, putting them on your back, going underwater, and then dekitting at the end. So that is a lot more manual. But I couldn't just sit around a pool for a week. Whereas I know for a lot of people, that is their way that they'll switch off and relax. And either way, there's nothing wrong with. But just because you're on holiday, it doesn't mean that you have to just completely stop doing anything that you want to do. And like I say with Carrie, she wants to go to the gym because she enjoys it. She doesn't feel like she has to. And that is the difference. If you've got to a point where you are that anxious about going on holiday because you can't train, that's when you might need to sit back and think, okay, like what's the reasons behind this? But if it's that you genuinely enjoy it and that's what's going to get you up, set you up for the day by getting up in the morning, heading to the gym, lifting some heavy weights, then enjoying your holiday, then absolutely go for it. And it'll be the same when I'm away. I might not necessarily strength train, but I will go on hikes, I'll go on walks, and I'll still keep very active in that sense. So yeah, I think it's all very personal preference, but I think it's looking at the reasons why you want to train. If it's because you're anxious, because you don't want to change everything up, you're eating more food, and or you don't want to be doing that, you don't want to be going out, and you feel like you should be in the gym, then that's maybe where you need to step back and have a think. It was just that you genuinely enjoy it and it's going to be mentally beneficial for you to then enjoy your holiday more. Absolutely nothing wrong with it.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Absolutely spot on. Yeah, and in fact, it's not dissimilar to what I'd say. I mean, for me, so I went to Florida last year. We had a week. It was again my first holiday abroad in about 7 years. Uh,
Horrible.
Full holiday abroad. I mean, I had like weekend breaks and things, but um, I didn't work out that week. And no, it wasn't because I didn't want to. We did actually see that there was a gym on the site. I was just too busy
Yeah.
because we were in the parks every single day, and we were up early and back at the villa late. But yeah, if I go away for a week and there's a gym in the hotel, I will go to the gym and I will go and lift weights because I enjoy it, because it's something that I like. However, if I'm also tired and I need a rest, I'm more than happy to. I'm not very good at sitting still, but I will kind of go, do you know what? Um, have a rest, go for a walk, swim, because that's the thing, as you said, there are loads of other ways of being active. And the key thing for physical health, it's being active. Yes, strength training is great and it's got its benefit, it's got loads of benefits. Running's great and it's got loads of benefits or whatever, just being active. And if you have a week or 2 weeks off, you're not going to lose your gains. That's the other thing, if you're anxious about missing the gym for whatever reason, whether it's losing muscle mass or gaining weight or whatever, yeah, I think you have to take a step back and start thinking, hang on a minute, there's something else here that we need to look at. But if you enjoy that and it's good, just because it's something you enjoy, something that makes you feel better, something that makes you happy, by all means, go and do it, go and train. Find a gym if you want to, or just go for long walks, swims, whatever. Do it. All right, last question. And this is again, this is something that we sort of alluded to at the beginning. What to do when you're ill with regards to diet and training, and it's not just training, but it's diet as
Yeah.
well. Because there are a lot of illnesses around.
No.
Loads and loads of, I've got friends, clients, colleagues, myself, who just seem to be picking up lots of little bugs or whatever. So it's, what do you do? I mean, this is the worst I've felt in a long time. I've not had anything like this in ages, thanks to my girlfriend. I am blaming her entirely.
I'm sure.
What's hers is mine, and mine is hers. So, right. Diet then. In terms of when you're ill, what are the things around your diet?
I think it depends what kind of ill. If you're suffering really badly from like a cold, that kind of virus, best thing you can do is I think everyone sort of craves that comfort food when they're ill, but it's incorporating that into something healthier. So let's say, for example, a really good one for when you're ill is soup, because you've got so much nutrients in there. If you have like a vegetable soup, for example, and you can add like shredded chicken into that, you're getting your protein, you're going to get so much nutrients from those vegetables that it is going to make you feel better. So as much as you want to sit there, feel sorry for yourself. And this is speaking from me, by the way, everyone. This like, do you just want to sit there, feel sorry for yourself, and eat like smash your whole packet of biscuits? Actually, if you are still nourishing your body with those nutrients, so something like a vegetable soup, fruit and yogurt, easy to eat even with a sore throat, you're still getting your protein in, you're still getting your nutrients in there from your fruit and vegetables. Like, still try and get you 5 a day, and it will help to pick you up. Getting your vitamin C in is also going to be a really important one, and that would really help boost your immune system and make you feel better. If it's something that you're recovering from, like a sickness bug, very different. And actually, the best thing you can do is like easy to digest food. So then you'll be looking at like your white bread, your plain rice, plain chicken, all of those things, just until you can start to stomach a little bit more food. And then again, I would probably still recommend something like a soup, because it's just a really easy way. It doesn't take any effort to just have vegetable soup and chuck some shredded chicken in. It's minimal effort, but maximum rewards for your body, in the sense that will give it the nutrients it needs to get better. And
Yeah,
keep hydration is a massive one.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the key thing there as well when you're ill, your body. So if you're in a fat loss phase and you're ill, your body is going to need more calories to
Yeah,
recuperate, recover. You know, you're looking at a repair recovery process. Your temperature is going to be higher, so your metabolism is going to be a little bit higher. It's in the same way during menstruation, you know, you're looking at rebuilding and repairing things. Your immune system, you're going to be making more white blood cells, all sorts of other stuff. So, you know, maybe not eating in a deficit. We need
yeah.
to feed that cold, that fever. So make sure, yeah, protein's key because that's important for your immune system. Your vitamins and minerals, you know, like you say, vitamin C, but also you're getting need your B vitamins in there. So getting some good quality dairy products, a good vitamin D for your immune system as well. But getting a varied, balanced diet as well as some of the comfort food, just because you need something to help make you feel better. Yeah.
Not the whole
Uh,
packet.
no, not a whole packet of biscuits though. But like you also said, if you have an upset stomach, that's the other thing as well. So if you are ill and you take antibiotics, antibiotics are going to very likely give you an upset stomach because we have a microbiome in our gut, our digestive system, of bacteria. Broad spectrum antibiotics, which is what they will give you if you have a bacterial infection, will disrupt that. So going to a low residue diet, so like you say, your white breads, white rice, white pasta, you might find digesting proteins harder. So you might find that having a lot of protein is going to upset your gut. And then there are certain other foods as well. So fermentable foods, things like your sugar alcohols, which are sweeteners like sorbitol, maltitol, can cause bloating. So if you're, you know, if you are suffering with a bit of an upset stomach, artificially sweetened drinks you might want to cut that down on those while you know you've got a bit of a bloated stomach. Some of the vegetables like your broccoli, cabbage, maybe just kind of cut down on those a little bit and keep things nice and simple, just for you know a few days up to a week to get things settled. But I think the main thing in terms of your diet is keep it varied, keep it whole food where you can, protein, veggies. You know, it's a balanced, healthy diet, and we need it for a reason. It gives us everything. Now, in terms of your training, um, you don't have to stop, but it's listen to your body. So yesterday I didn't train. Thursday's normally quite a heavy training day for me. Did not train at all. I listened to my body, and I was tempted, but I thought, "Do you know what? I am just going to make myself worse." I have trained today, but I trained light and I listened to myself and actually stopped the workout early because I just thought, do you know what? I'm
Yeah,
not going to get much out of this. Um, so in terms of your training, it's kind of, I would say if there's an old sort of saying that, you know, if it's the neck and above, if it's in your head, you can exercise, neck and below, if it's in your body, don't. I would say, no, not quite right. It's for if you are, let's say you've got a bad head cold, you are not going to benefit that much. You know, if you're feeling lousy, you're not going to benefit that much from it. You're going to benefit more from going outside and having a walk. Yeah. So if you are feeling grotty, maybe running, strength training, or whatever that you would normally do, put that to one side for a bit, go for a walk, 10, 15 minutes, clear your head, get some fresh air, because that will help. Get some sun. If it's sunny, get some sunshine on your skin. That will help. Um, but yeah, when you're ill, I think the priority is rest, refuel, recuperate, hydrate, sleep.
yeah,
Those are the five things. And if you focus on those, you're going to recover better. And you know, it's I know it's tough. I've taken 2 days off work, and it's hard for me. I'm self-employed. If I don't work, I don't get paid. But if you push through, you can that recovery process is going to take longer, you know. So give yourself that time to recover. And I know that's easier said than done. And I know you feel guilt sometimes, but going into work when you're feeling grotty, people are not going to think you're some hero, you know. They won't they won't thank you for it. And they certainly won't thank you if you start spreading the illness around. So I know it's easier said than done, but take the time. And I have to listen to my own advice here sometimes. Take the time and rest, recuperate, and get better.
Absolutely.
Cool. Right, that is the questions done.
Amazing.
We've finished a lot earlier than normal today.
Yeah, I think we both need it tonight.
Yes, we do. Yeah, I'm gonna have some tea and then get to bed, I think, and have an early night.
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Cool. All right then. All right, guys. Until next time, it is bye from us. Goodbye.
Bye.